Well, I'd like to introduce my friend Peter, who lives in Zaragoza. It's the second largest city in Spain. Um, some would consider it uninhabitable for people who are sensitive, but Peter, his nickname is Torito, which means the little bull, is he's a bit stubborn and he's not going to leave his home. So one of the things that Peter excels at is making effective RF shielded body wear. So I think the best analogy is we all see that when a fireman goes to put out a house fire, he can't go into that environment, which is very hot, without special apparel. He wears a special hat, a special like a balaclava underneath. And then he wears a respirator so he can breathe, and he wears turnout gear and etc. So Peter has kind of extended that idea for protection against radio frequency radiation, this pulse modulated radio frequency radiation that's just becoming normal in this crazy new world that we're living in. And it enables him to get out and be in the community. He can walk his dogs. One of the other things Peter is really great at is just walking right up to people and talking to them about the issue of RF exposure or their cell phones or whatever it may be. So these suits that Peter has invented himself, made himself, and in some cases even made his own shoes. They enable him to recapture his ability to be part of society. And little by little, he has gone from early prototypes that are more obvious in terms of their, they're just unusual looking, particularly the helmets and whatnot, to his latest iteration, which really looks just like a tracksuit. And so we're going to get some pictures of that. Peter, welcome again to the EMF Remedy podcast.
Yeah, hello. Today's topic, as you said, is about Faraday suits. And I decided to make a new project. It is exactly the same mesh like the other helmet, but it lacks a metallic structure. So I never thought that it was possible to sew this one, but I'll show you how this one fits right onto my head. Basically, it is a cylinder. Look at the view. So this is what happens when I have it on. It is right next to my eyes. This is my latest jacket, okay? This is called Silver Silk from Y-Shield. See? But look at this. You see? This is an elastic here, which I can tighten as much as I want. And it is very thin. It won't hurt. I put on the helmet and it goes inside this collar. I have the same thing here. You see? I can tighten it on the wrist. And I have the same thing down here at the bottom, you see? Basically, this one tightens it over my trousers. So it's wave tight. I have the other suit. Now, you mentioned the tracksuit. Yes, I disguised it because you see it is gray. It looks strange, but I disguised it as a tracksuit. All I had to do is put this strip of blue on it. And then, of course, the pocket with my Torito shielding logo. I'll show you the red one. See? Exactly the same thing, same system. Look, if you don't want to look like an ET, you don't need to. Just protect yourself up to here. If you can wear gloves, if it's winter, even better. You don't need to look like a freak. You can protect 90% of your body and you will absorb 90% less of RF while you're outside. Sure.
I was going to say, I know next to nothing about sewing. I have absolutely no skills in that area. But I can't help but think if we had a pattern that that could be scaled larger or smaller, then people might have the ability in their local community to take that pattern to a seamstress, or if it's a big city, you know, a tailor, whatever, and have something made. So maybe in the future. And I just want to say that I appreciate the prototyping that you've done. You know, you weren't going to be intimidated by the scope of the project of trying to cover the whole human body, which is absolutely the best thing to do. And so you began, and the first iterations not as well stood out a bit more than, or a lot more than your current iteration. So I just love that you keep iterating, you keep creating new designs. I love the sort of camouflage nature of the tracksuit. I think what you're saying, you're really talking to people's sense of ego, or the desire to be, you know, conform and to fit in with others. And so, as you say, if they can cover 90% of their body and not appear to be covering 90% of their body, there would be a great a benefit to that. And then for those who need to or want to, they can cover the remaining with appropriate gloves and head.
Okay. I started off just like that, covering my head, and it didn't work. Now, when I think of it, any protection, anything you do, it will help to some extent. But then, depending on your sensitivity, you will need more or less. But like anything, start with anything. I started just with a headscarf. I could see that they made no much difference, so I went further. This allows me to go out and actually do my shopping, do everything I need. Beforehand, I used to go quickly, like a lunatic. You see, do my shopping, not spend too much time in the shop. If someone was next to me with their phone, I used to run away. No, I'm just there. I'm cool. You see, these suits are the best thing that ever happened to me, because I can do whatever I please. Go out and have a normal life. See, these are the trousers. Same thing. You go to your wardrobe, to your closet, and you open it. You find something that you like. The best thing is like something like a hoodie, a tracksuit, something, but a model you like. You take it to a tailor and you say to them, how much will you charge me for making me something exactly the same, but with a fabric that I will provide for you? You can even ask them, how much fabric do I need? So you know how much you need to order. This one that I use, which is, by the way, it is the best one I found, and you get an estimate, and then you know how much fabric you need to order. Elastic on the waist. You need a jacket, and the jacket needs to have the same thing, an elastic on the waist, so it can go over the trousers and leave no gap. You need elastic at both your wrists, so it doesn't go inside on the wrist, because when you get some gloves, you have them like longer, and they will go inside. An elastic at the neck. As long as you like respect these 2 or 3 rules, you'll be okay. No, don't leave spaces open. Never ever use a zipper. Anyone can make their own suit. You go to a tailor, you tell them, you show them what you want. Just bear in mind these things. No zipper, no like buttons, no openings on the wrists, on the ankles. You see, there's another elastic. I put the back pockets. Look at the back pockets. It changes everything. You only need like 3 to 3.5 yards. You see $150 for the fabric.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast one more time to talk about your latest invention. And if you send me your links, I will make sure I put those in the description so people will know how they can get in touch with you personally, and also your work on YouTube and other places. So, Peter, thank you for coming on again today, and also for all the work that you're doing to try to bring awareness and to try to help people with, I guess, what I call the 21st century electroplague.
Yes, thank you for having me, Keith, and you take care. You keep up the good work, and God bless you, brother.
God bless you too.
It makes me sick, that glowing leash. You scroll and smile, I find no peace.
I feel this poison. I miss my friends, I'm all alone. This buzzing air, I have no home.
I feel this poison.
Wi-Fi burns, it pulls me